for over pushing on it.
Lee, I just wanted to ask Lee, obviously, you're a man who knows a thing or two about winning two-lap TTs. In the opening Supersport race a week ago, and again in the Superbike race on Sunday, it took Michael Dunlop a lap and a half or so to warm up to really make that surge for the front. He simply doesn't have that time today. He's had no warm-up lap, obviously, to go and assess conditions, and he doesn't have that lap and a half to warm up. So in the mindset, is it completely different for Michael for today?
Yeah, as it will be for all the guys out there. It's you know, especially in, say, we look at the senior, the 6-lap race, and all the guys that tend to push on at the end are a little bit further back at the start. So you have to build into these sorts of races, but this is a complete different mentality now going into this. They're all going to be anxious of the fact that they cannot lose any time on the first lap. There's nothing to be gained in the pits, so it's literally all down to the first lap, and then the second lap everybody's going to balance out and be on similar pace, or the top guys will at least, so it's harder to make that time back up.
At the start of a normal 3-lap Supersport race, what sort of fuel load will you put in? Because you're coming in at the end of lap 2, is the fuel load going to be different? Is that going to affect the bike?
No, so obviously now with 2 laps, that'll just be as if they were going to come to the pit stop, so they will start the race with a full fuel load, and then obviously run that right to the end of the race, so the settings won't change or anything like that on the bike, or the feeling. You still got a full tank of fuel, brand new tyres, so the feeling now going out. The only difference is the pressure, that it is literally a known 2-lap race. So obviously when I won my race, that was because of a red flag, so we were starting with the intention of doing 4 laps, so we were all just pushing on normally as was, but this is a completely different scenario.
Okay, we're going to maybe speak to a couple of the guys in a moment. There doesn't seem to be many around here just yet. Peter Hickman's here. We'll grab a quick word. If you can keep a little eye out for Connor, Lee, because we'd like to grab a quick word if we can. And Peter, good morning. Just about good morning to you.
Yeah, well, I've not been awake that long. No, I always like a lay-in.
I was like a lie-in this morning. I was up early doors. Have you done any changes since the first Supersport race, complaining about lack of GGs?
Quite a few. Proof's in the pudding, innit? We'll see. Yeah, we've made a lot of changes. Some might work, some might not. Who knows? But hey, we've got to throw everything at it. Obviously, if we'd had a warm-up, we'd have taken it out of warm-up. But we haven't got that luxury, have we, with the way the weather's been? So yeah, we'll just give 110% like we always do. Boys have been working really hard on it, to be fair. You know, we've tried absolutely all sorts and everything that we can think of, even. Fingers crossed, we're a lot closer.
All right, Peter, good luck. Thanks for that.
Thanks, mate.
Here you go, Peter Hickman there. Interestingly, what he said wherever you've gone, what he's saying about the changes and stuff. I'm just here now. It's not easy to see me. And somebody's asked if Mike Brown could actually do it. I have a pit board for Mike Brown, but Connor Cummins is with Lee Johnson.
Yeah, we've just seen Connor walk up onto the grid now. Connor, obviously been quite a lot of speculation regarding your career going forward, and if this is the last we're going to see of Connor Cummins. So yeah, we'd like to hear what your plans are, what you're thinking about going forward, and yeah, in the near future.
Well, yeah. Well, first, it's nice to be over here on the grid today, see some action. But yeah, there's one thing that's definite. I will definitely be back racing. So a bit of speculation as to whether I'm retiring or not. It couldn't be any further from the truth. I've just withdrawn from the rest of TT 2024. So yeah, I mean, in this job, you know yourself, Lee, you ride on confidence, and unfortunately, we arrived at a point in the road of this year's TT where that just wasn't there. So it was best for everyone concerned that we call it quits for this TT, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm still mega passionate about my racing, and I'm gutted not to be racing.
Yeah, obviously it's we spoke before during the week that it's hard for me being here. I'm injured. I know I'm not fit to do the job, but I'm a fan of Connor Cummins, as all the people listening right now are, and we know that you're more than capable of doing that job. So yeah, we'll hopefully see you back soon, maybe in the British Championship, possibly to finish the year off, and then make a plan to come back to the TT next year.
Well, that's it. I need to be racing, and we need to be. I am already making plans and making a bit of headway. So yeah, I know what I'm capable of doing around here in the TT. I love racing motorbikes, so if I didn't, I wouldn't be stood here now on the grid, feeling gutted that I'm not racing.
Well, from me and everybody listening, Connor, that's really good to hear, and we're looking forward to seeing you back here again, and hopefully on the British Championship as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Great to see Connor. All the best, my friend. We need to play golf sometime. Yeah, you got it. Tom Birchall's been sniffing around at stuff. What have you got from the Davy Todd camp?
They're quite confident. Yeah, they found some setup issues in the first race, so they made some changes, and they're pretty sure it's for the good. He's going to come out the blocks straight away, he says. So we're in for a bit of a barnstormer, I think, pal.
And I think as well, what Hickey was just saying there about the changes he's made, he won't know. When will you know, Lee? If you've made major changes or subtle changes, where do you know? Top of St Indians, bottom of Bray Hill, into Quarterbridge maybe with suspension, or the quick flick left to right of Braddon?
Yeah, it's hard. It depends on what the guys are looking for. If the guys are looking for a little bit of stability, they will know by the time they get to St Indians. And it's also hard. The bike's got new tyres on, fresh tyres out of the blankets. It takes a few seconds to get up through no man's land, and that normally doesn't happen. You know, you're normally straight out onto a session, so it's the worst possible scenario. This is when the bike feels its worst. Full tank of fuel, fresh tyres, straight out of the blankets, not been run. So sometimes you can get into a little bit of a lull sense, but yeah, within the first 3 or 4 miles, the guys are going to know whether it's good or bad, and then obviously it's a joyful feeling, you're ready to push, and then on the other case it's going to be a long race, but with this it's only 2 laps, so yeah, you just have to bite the screen and get stuck in.
Alright, let's hear from Stephen Parsons with Beth.
Yeah, I'm sporting a bobble hat. It's June, isn't it? Goodness me. How are you feeling?
Not too bad. Should be alright on this one. Yeah, weather's terrible, and it is what it is, safe for everybody, so yeah, take it easy on this first lap. No heroics, I don't think, not today, just yeah, with the fortnight we've had, it's been terrible on it, but very.
We're just hearing there is a 15-minute delay to the start of this race, so another 15-minute delay, and it's really tricky, isn't it? It's sort of getting all those nerves together, standing here on the start line, and then just thinking, oh, just want to go.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things going when it's this late. It's all right when it's early, like, because you just relax and whatever you're in on him, but we're literally stood on the start line, and yeah, 15-minute delay is. Yeah, it's not good for the old nerves, like, it's bloody hell. Go to the toilet again, I think, but anyway. it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, it's not good.
And have you been okay physically over the past 2 weeks, body holding up to everything?
Just about, yeah. It's with a lack of track time, to be fair to me, it's done me right. Yeah, with everything I've been through, just yeah, keep it nice and quiet, and yeah, we didn't want millions of laps, to be fair, as much as you do, because obviously you're riding your bike around here, you want as many laps as you can do, but yeah, with my body and that lot, just nice and easy, and yeah, the fact that senior's only 4 laps, I can still say I've done a senior, even though it's not a proper 6-lapper, but we don't tell anyone that one, just we did a senior, and that's all we did, so yeah, it is what it is, we'll be happy.
Well, I hope you have a great day, and keep that hat on, won't you?
Alright, thank you very much, cheers, Matt. Thank you.
Nice to grab the words, to hear the words of Trevor, as he's known, Stevie Parsons, and I'm going to give him the bus stop. I'm only 7 years away from my bus pass, but I'm all right, I'm not too far away from it. Davo Johnson, I'm going to speak to James Hilly in a moment, but Davo, lovely to see you.
Yeah, well, I was a bit, coming up here is a weird feeling, because obviously I want to be out there, but I want to come out and support my mates, and watch them racing, but unfortunately I'm not in it, and yeah, it just is what it is.
What have you broke, what have you done, what hurts, what doesn't hurt?
Everything hurts, but I've done very little for the crash that I had. Like, it was quite a biggie. I fractured my collarbone. That's the worst thing that's stopping me from really riding. But I was smacked the tank real hard in one of the whip ups with my obviously chest, and it feels like I've broken every rib. But I've done full CT scans, and they've assured me that they're not. They're just really bruised, which is affecting my breathing and stuff. So yeah, it's crappy, but yeah, all good. I'm still here.
You're still here. I've seen video of the crash. Have you seen it yourself, or you not want to see it?
I've seen it. I've tried to avoid it, but it's everywhere now. So yeah, I just learned from it as well. We actually dissected the whole thing, and just to see exactly what happened. Yeah, and yeah, I was a passenger. It's the way we were with our setup. Like, it was set up in practice. I was doing 130s. And then we went out in the race, and then I was doing high 131 or 132 was my ideal. So it was actually, yeah, the setup wasn't ready. I mean, for that speed, and I know exactly what I'd change now moving forward. But unfortunately, I'll have to wait till next year.
All right, Dave. Well, good to see you here and smiling.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers, Dave. We'll quickly speak to James Hillier from the Bournemouth Kawasaki. I love saying the fact you're back on Bournemouth, making space on the bus stop. It's a bit slidey, isn't it? Going to fall off. James, first Supersport race. Happy enough? Any changes made for this?
Yes, I got a different engine, and I had a problem in race 1 with my quick shifter. So anyone that saw it in a few sections, I kept missing gears and it falling out of gear. So we've now rectified that and should be able to have a bit of a better go, I think.
All right, James. Thanks for your time. Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just here with Mike Norbury. We've already said no swearing on this one, Radio TT. We've got the 15-minute delay. How are you feeling? Any changes from the last race?
No, we've been ready to go for a few days, just waiting for the weather. So, yeah, it's excited to get going and get some laps in, really, and finally get on with it.
And overall, how has TT 2024 been for you and the team?
Mixed, like everyone else. No one's really had a solid couple of weeks, have they? But we can't complain, like I say. It's nice and sunny now. The last day, everyone's out, so just make the most of it and have a ride around.
Well, have a good one.
Thanks, cheers, guys.
Yeah, nice to get the thoughts of David Johnson. Going to get the thoughts now of Jamie Coward, who's just in conversation with Paul Jordan as well. And to believe, go around the back here. Here they are. Look at these lot here. These are lovely, lovely people from the KTS team. They're lovely. And hello. Oh yes, you can see me above the other people, can't you?
Sorry, how are you?
Good, Lee. Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson. I've called you Lee Johnson again. Lee's got his headphones on. He'll be lifting. That's twice I've called him Lee Johnson now. Do you know that? I tell you what. Paul Jordan starting at number 1 again. Talk us through the first Supersport race. I know you're a bit disappointed, weren't you?
Yeah, it was just one of them. You know, it was nothing to do with going off number 1. I felt like I was riding well. It's just there's a few things I want to change with the bike so it could go that wee bit further. So hopefully we've changed it and we can go a bit faster now. And hopefully Jamie or team doesn't see me as soon as they did this the last race. So yeah, that's what it is. You know, I'm just glad we're standing up here and we're going to go racing today.
Yeah, it's been a tough TT for you guys, especially you riders. You know, it's been bonkers, isn't it? Ready to go, not ready to go. Only 2 laps as well. Does that change your strategy? You know, there's not going to be a pit stop, but nothing changed?
No, nothing really. Just, you know, just as soon as the flag lifts, just go and just try to go as fast as I can for 2 laps. Yeah.
Tuck in behind Jamie if he gets past you again, and because that's quicker straight line a little bit, or about the same, would you think?
No, to be fair, whenever Jamie passed me, I was fit. I learnt a lot off Jamie, to be fair, so if Jamie can go past me, I'll try and hang on as long as possible. And then obviously Dean passed me coming into the Craig, sort of just took me out of that ribbon as such, so they just broke me. So yeah, but if they come past, they're going to hang on like a rag doll. Like that's the plan here. You know, we've only got 2 laps, so I had to make these 2 laps count.
Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul Jordan.
Well, I'm just here with Sam West. You can tell you've done this before. You've got your little chair here on the start line.
Well, you know, when you think there might be another little delay for the weather, it's worth bringing a chair up, get a nice comfy sit down and wait here.
So, looking at today overall, how are you feeling about everything?
No, I think everyone's feeling the same. We were all really frustrated with how it went yesterday. You know, the organisers made a great call. There's nothing they can do, so you know, there's no complaints there. But everyone's just desperate to get out, and I think everyone's quite relieved today. The forecasts are looking good. We're going to get 3 races. I'm not, unfortunately, because I didn't get enough qualifying laps on my twin, so I don't get to do the twin race. But at least I'll get 2 races. I'm happy with that.
And actually, physically, that might work out quite well, I suppose, because it's a lot to jump from one machine to the other.
I suppose it is, yeah. I don't really struggle with fitness myself. I'm quite keen on that sort of aspect, so I've got no problem doing the number of laps. I think some of the guys were a bit daunted by it, but, you know, train harder, guys.
Well, good to talk to you, Sam, and enjoy your little sit down here.
Thank you.
Off at number 2 on the KTS Stead Plan machine. The Triumph is Jamie Cowden. Where's your famous mate?
Oh, Paddy.
Now then, now you'll have to explain to people who don't know who this person is, if you wouldn't mind, because a lot of people go there. Who's Paddy? Is he an Irishman? Who is he?
No, he's Paddy, the guy from Emmerdale. He lives not far from us. He's actually called Dominic Brunt. We occasionally see him walking up on the moors and up at a cafe I like to go to. So he's a big TT fan and a motorsport fan, and he wanted to. He obviously watches it on the TV. He's always wanted to come over, so we've managed to sort it. Obviously, he's got himself over here, but we sorted with the organisers. He's out there somewhere. He walked up with us not long since, but yeah, he's quite funny. I'm walking through the paddock and everyone's asking for his autograph, and not mine.
What's he made of it first time? Seeing it is different to watching it.
Yeah, I think he's been here for the last couple of days, so unfortunately he's not really seen much. So I think today he'll be. He's probably his mouth will his tongue will be out, his mouth will hit the floor probably, because it's watching it on the TVs. Everyone knows it's completely different to seeing it in real life. So he'll be. I think he'll be a bit dumbfounded today, to be fair.
Supersport race. Let's look at it. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good, mate. Yeah, to be fair, I'm just get out there. It's only 2 laps, so we'll just go out there and it's just enjoy myself. You know, it's been for riders. It's been quite stressful with the delays and stuff like that. Obviously, you can't help the weather and stuff. So yeah, just go out there, just enjoy myself, and then we'll just see where we are at then. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Just leaning on a hedge here with James Chalk, and you're looking pretty relaxed at the moment. A lot of waiting around, but how are you doing overall?
Yeah, there's a lot of waiting around. It's been a tough week on everyone, but look, we're here, we're on Glencountry Road, and we're looking forward to it, and we'll make the most of it.
And you know, James, we talked a lot, especially to some of the privateers, about what it takes to get here and how much goes into getting people to the start line at TT 2024. What's it been like for you, that journey over the past 12 months?
Oh yeah, it's a tough journey, like, because I suppose the way to sum it up is TT 25 starts tomorrow, doesn't it? You're 50 weeks preparing for 2 weeks of fun, and there's no two ways about it. That's what it takes if you want to be here. But when you're here, there's nothing like it in the world.
And compared to the first race then, have you made any changes?
Yeah, we've made a few major changes. In the first race, we ran into fierce trouble with the bike, but luckily we were able to find the problem. So we're hopefully now it's completely changed. We've only been out in it once during the week, but we're looking forward to it. We'll know straight away whether it's going right or wrong, but with the help of God, we'll get it home and another replica.
And you know what? No worries about pit stops today. Does that make a difference for you?
Yeah, it does really. It's just get on and go, keep it flowing. So looking forward to it now, really.
Wonderful. Thanks for talking to us, James. Have a good one.
No bother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Just going to jump in. I'm going to get down here because, oh God, I nearly went down the grid. Ian Hutchinson, that's so good to see you smile. How are you? All right? Nice and relaxed?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. Not ideal for this delays, but is what it is.
You've seen it all. You've been in here before. Talk us through your TT so far. How's it gone for you? How are you getting there from the start of the week, which seems an age ago now? You just steady.
Yeah, chipping away. I sort of did one lap on the superbike on the first day, and it wasn't what I wanted to be riding, to be fair, so I put it to one side, and I was hoping Connor would have got up there on it, and then I'd have had another go, but obviously he struggled as well, so I've just left the superbike for the whole fortnight and just been riding the Stocker in 600, and we've been making progress. It'd have been nice to have had some more laps and especially more practice, but I've been chipping away and getting faster every time I've gone out, so hopefully get through today and we can build on it for next year.
And you can build, like I said, and you look at the sector times every time, just that little bit every time, no massive jumps, just little lifts.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it was always going to be a 2-week practice for me, and that's what I'm still sticking to and just chipping away bit by bit.
Another 15-minute delay just announced there by Johnny Barton. You wouldn't have their job up there for a big clock, would you?
No, these showers have just been a nightmare. I mean, for me trying to come back and build some confidence, and we're going into races with damp patches everywhere, it's like the last thing I need. But like I say, I know where I'm at now. I'm feel like I'm riding okay, and we're chipping away, getting faster. So yeah, we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
And is the body getting back to being Ian Hutchinson bike rider ready? Is it getting the feel back?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I needed more time before the TT, before we went road racing, really. And, you know, obviously there was no way of doing it with the ACU not letting me have my licence. I'd have loved to have done the last couple of rounds of BSB at the end of last year and gone into winter a little bit more prepared. But I wasn't allowed, so getting the licence back 1st of March, I've done one race at Alton Park, and I never actually did the race. I did practice and qualifying and never actually did the race, so it would have been nice to have got a little bit more up to speed, but it's a comeback year.
It is. And what's the rest of the year for you after TT? Were you back to BSB? You doing anything else?
Yeah, I'd love to be back to BSB, but Clive hasn't got the sort of budget to run it, I don't think. So at the moment we haven't really got anything sorted to ride for the rest of the year. But you know where I'm at now, the best thing for me is to go straight away, carry on riding in BSB, you know, and carry on with where I've got to. I don't really need to be having 3 or 4 months off, but obviously it all comes down to what we can get.
Good luck for today, Hutchie. Thanks for that. Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just sitting here on the road with Mark Goodings. We're just hearing, Mark, there's that other delay, so we're looking at a race start time now of 12:30. We spoke to you at the beginning of TT, which it seems like an age ago now, Mark, doesn't it? How would you assess your TT24 so far?
So far, the TT's been very difficult this year, with numerous things going wrong with bike and bits like that. But yeah, we've just got to get our head together and crack on. The same conditions for everybody else, so we've just got to try and pull something out of the bag, try and get a replica. That's his aim. We've done 2 races, finished 2 races now, and got 2 finishers plaques, which I'm kicking my end with because I'm starting the races too soft instead of just attacking. So we just need to just clear my head, just get on with it.
So we were just talking to James Chalk about the fact that he says TT25 for him will pretty much start tomorrow. What are your plans?
To be honest with you, I've not really spoke to the team much on what we do. We normally do Darley Moor.
because we get cheap entries there because we championship and stuff like that. But really, what we plan to do, I'd like. Let's just have a little look over there to see Josh Brooks, to see what a lot of the riders have done now is disappeared. Lee Johnson, what do you think?
Yeah, we were just talking between ourselves there. We're going to try and chat to a few of the guys, but they've all disappeared back down. And most of the top riders, if you haven't been into the pits before, they all have tents based in, not where the bikes are kept throughout the week, but then when they come up through Park Fermi, they've obviously got this thing where the top pits are, the top tents. So it's easier just to jump down there and get out of the way of people like us that are trying to get interviews and stuff like that. And some riders are different. Some don't mind talking, and some help the fact that it talks. It takes your mind off it. But other guys, obviously, like Michael and that, they come up quite late, and yeah, they don't want to talk.
Did you hear what Hutchie was saying there? Did you catch any what Hutchie was saying about the fact he says he feels he's getting there?
Yeah, and he is. I think we spoke earlier again, me and Tom, that he's done 129, was it, mile an hour lap. So it's just the fact that the rest of the guys have took this massive jump, and 129 or 30 getting through the week used to be okay, but it's just not it's not enough anymore. And like I said, he's come with realistic goals to try and get better for next year, and we've been joking about it in the office. I'm going to have to try and do the same thing next year. Do you know what I mean? So it's yeah, I'm going to try and be kind to him on the radio now in case it comes back to bite me.
Oh, we'll record it. We'll play it back to you. Let's get back to Chris Boyd.
Yes, indeed. Thanks very much. So as we've heard, there is a further 15-minute delay. So we're now looking at a 12:30 start for this Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 2. Deputy Clerk of the course, John Barton, did speak to the paddock a few minutes ago. He said the shower had come through Kirkmichael and that area. It was relatively light and the roads were now dry out there, but the shower had moved on to the mountain. So fingers crossed it will also be relatively light up there. They just want to give the roads a little bit longer and obviously wait for this shower to be right through and away from the course. So a 12:30 p.m. start time, about 21.5 minutes from now for the Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 2. We'll be back with full build-up in a few moments.
Milwaukee Tools, engineered for the professional trades. With over 4,500 products across power tools, accessories, hand tools, PPE and storage, Milwaukee provide the solutions you need for a hard day on the job site. Heavy duty is not just a slogan, it's Milwaukee's promise to bring the best to professional users in construction, carpentry, plumbing, electrics, landscaping and every trade. Search online for Milwaukee UK. Nothing but heavy duty.
Empower your ride with Motul. Innovators for 170 years, Motul presents the next generation of oils. N-Gen 5 and N-Gen 7 use a unique regeneration process, offering the most sustainable lubricant solution, with performance that betters the equivalent traditionally produced oils. Track or road, trust Motul to give you the optimum solution. Visit the Motul shop at the grandstand to find the perfect lubricant for your motorbike, car, and now your bicycle as well. Motul, official lubricant partner to the Isle of Man TT.
Honda Fireblade, the ultimate supersport bike. Still top of its class, and now with even more engine refinements and technical advancements, including twin-motor throttle bottles to aid cornering entry and exit control, new aerodynamics to improve downforce, increased power and torque, lowering the rev range, and improved riding position for road comfort. New era, new ride, new Fireblade at honda.co.uk.
For the safety of everyone, there is a no-fly zone for all drones within 1,000 meters of the mountain course, with riders and helicopters traveling around the island at high speeds. There is zero tolerance with drones. Large fines, court appearances, and equipment seized and destroyed. If you're over for the TT, don't ruin your trip and put everyone at risk. Stay safe and leave the drone at home.
When it comes to head protection, RI strives for the ultimate, with incremental design and protection improvements introduced to the range year on year. RI not only research and improve on the management of impact energy, RI also produces rounder, smoother, stronger outer shells to enhance glancing off performance. For the ultimate in impact absorption and glancing off technology, combined with comfort and 5-year warranty, visit the RI village behind the grandstand. RI, because what we protect is priceless.
Back here at the TT Grandstand, umbrellas are going up. We have light rain certainly hitting the windows here of the commentary box. Let's get down to the team outside for a better idea of conditions. Chris and Beth.
Yeah, a few bits and bats of rain coming on here, and you know the most important thing is the TT Trophy. I don't know if you spotted, Bodie, has been moved from underneath the starter rights there. Just heard from one of the teams. This is, of course, unofficial, just what they're telling us. They'll obviously have team members around the circuit with pit boards and stuff saying a bit of rain coming in at Kurt Michael. And again, we watched the rain radar this morning, Chris Boyd, didn't we? And Ed, our engineer in the back, who, by the way, holds the sweet eating record now to 15 in the studio. You can tell it's been a long, long week. And the showers are going to pop up in one area at some point, and in another area that go round us and go to the south. So it's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got them coming down on a north-northwesterly, as you say. We've got our engineer, Ed Rickson. He's on the wall of champions. We've got all the lap records up here, and taking pride of place now is Ed Rickson, who has eaten 15 sweets at once this morning. And that record, Jim Whittam's held it at one point this week. Steve Day's had a go. We've had all sorts of people coming in and having a go at that record, but our engineer, Ed, he's absolutely on it. Yeah, no, we've got these showers coming on a north-northwesterly type track. They're coming effectively, if you like, down the channel between Scotland, between Northern Ireland and Scotland, and there what are hitting is anything to the south of that in the Belfast type area is coming, but we're hoping it moves to the south of us and we don't get that, but we're just getting these pesky showers keep popping up. So Jenny, we're just sort of stuck in a holding pattern here, aren't we? We've got to make sure conditions are right. Safety is paramount. We know there's pressure on the organisers over trying to get this schedule in today, but safety trumps everything.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely the most important thing. And yeah, the riders will just have to settle themselves down, I guess, because you don't want to get out of your focus kind of thing. So they just have to settle themselves down, and then hopefully when these showers pass, get themselves ramped back up again and ready to go.
Absolutely. Beth, we think has Gareth Arnold with her, who finished 36th in the opening Supersport race last Saturday.
Yeah, Gareth and I both optimistically sporting sunglasses here. We're used to the Manx weather, aren't we, Gareth? How are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm feeling good. It's raining here at the minute.
Back here at the TT Grandstand, where hopefully we don't need a miracle. We have just heard from race control that we are now good to go for a 1 o'clock start for the Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 2. There is course information just coming through as well. Damp patches at Braddon, Glen Helen and Governor's Dip, and obviously it is a 2-lap race. But hopefully, Jenny, this time we're good to go racing.
Yeah, I was just looking out the window and it looks fine, doesn't it? There's no dark looming clouds coming over, so hopefully, yeah, good to go. And I just nipped down there into the kind of assembly area just to see how teams were sort of prepping, and everybody looks quite chilled out and just kind of hit the reset button, ready to go again.
We can see bikes lined up as far as the eye can see up Glen Crutchley Road and beyond. Obviously, the Supersport, one of the highest entry classes on the programme at the TT, and yeah, bikes all the way back up Glen Crutchley Road heading towards Governor's on the way up there, and all the seated riders obviously to the front. Let's just recap Supersport Energy Race 1 a week ago. Michael Dunlop, of course, took the victory, his 26th TT win on the Yamaha. He jumped off the Triumph onto the Yamaha halfway through qualifying and managed to get that Yamaha that he does, of course, set the 130-mile-an-hour lap on last year. He got that round to win from Davy Todd's Ducati Panigale, but we know that the Ducati team is very new with that bike here, Jenny, aren't they? And they're making big steps all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear that they've made a big change from the first Supersport race. Obviously, Davey got second in that race, but they are still tweaking it, aren't they, and getting the best out of the bike, and be interesting to see how he gets on in this one.
It was only just over 8 seconds between Dunlop and Todd, so that's what they need to find, and less than that when it's only a 2-lap race. Dean Harrison took third on the Honda. For Honda Racing UK, James Hillier was 4th, James Hind was 5th, and Josh Brooks in 6th. So that was a week ago, when we're interested in what's going to be happening in a little over 10 minutes' time. So let's head outside now, once again, to our team down there, led by Chris Kinley.
A week ago, Boyd, did you just say that was a week ago?
Absolutely,
Really?
last Saturday.
Goodness me, that feels like an absolute lifetime ago. Somebody's just come out as well and he just said this feels like deja vu. It does, and you know what, since we've come out, when the sun's out, it is quite warm. We were talking about it in the studio when we went up there. It's that cold blast of air, which is then meeting the other air, and it's making showers. We don't want any more of that. We want that to go completely and utterly now. Let's go racing, Beth Espy.
That was a very technical description.
No.
Wow, you think considering a career change? Or?
No, John Ketley, there you tell you. And so is Michael
Never
Fish.
seen you in the same room.
Well, no, never. Just seen Steve Plater from the TT Plus guys, just having a little word with a local rider to us, Mikey Evans. What the riders been doing, just chilling out. We'll get our two chaps with us in a moment as well. That's Lee. I can see them there, Lee and Tom. They're making their way up to us. And let's speak to Joe if we can. Just Joe Yerdsley quickly. We'll move out the way before we get run over. Joe, TT24, what a tough time for everybody, and you riders especially.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for everyone, but you know, we can't help the Manx weather, unfortunately. Last year you'd have thought we were in the Caribbean, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? The organisers have done a brilliant job in delaying things and making it safe for everyone, and that's all we can do, you know, we can't do any more.
R6, happy?
Yeah, brand new bike this year. I hadn't even rode it before I come here, but I'm blessed to have two good mechanics, Stephen Clegg and Dave Clark, and also Chris Palmer there as well, setting the bike up, and it's been like a dream come true. So no, everything's going well, just keep chipping away and get today over with, and then we can celebrate tonight.
Where is Palmy today? I can't hear him and I can't see him. Where is he?
He's up the Victory Cafe looking after the VIPs. So yeah, he'll be keeping all them entertained up there, I'm sure.
What have you found the difference in the Manx Grand Prix to this, Joe? I mean, Manx Grand Prix, you were the man, won the senior Manx, brilliant stuff. But here, different kettle of fish. And has it brought you on, do you think?
Oh, massively. You know, coming to the TT, in my explanation, is like, coming for the Manx Grand Prix to the TT is like playing for a local Manx football team and going to the Premier League. You're now up against the best in the world. And I got passed twice by Peter Hickman in practice. And it's just amazing to even be riding with him, although he disappeared and buggered off, you know. It's just amazing to be riding with these guys, and they pull you along, and it's been a great experience for me.
Good luck for today.
Thank you.
Well, I'm just sitting here on the curb with a rather relaxed looking Dominic Herbertson. I mean, TT24 for you in a nutshell?
Well, I don't know how to feel at the moment. You know, we've gone from trying to put my jackets on to sunbathing on Douglas Front. It's a case of I cannot have more respect for this organisation team. It's the fact of like the struggles at the marshals, Gary Thompson, everyone in this situation. And here we go again.
All seems to be pretty good, is what Gary Thompson seems to be staying over the tannoy. We've obviously had all of those delays this morning. People sitting here on the start line eagerly waiting to hear if it is going to be a 1 p.m. start, and hopefully we'll get that confirmed in our ears very shortly. But yeah, we are confirmed for a 1 p.m. start. And Dom, I think it's great to hear from you as one of the riders, just talking about the difficulties that there must be for the organisers, because not all of the decisions they have to make are very popular.
No, far from it. It's a case of, you know, all these people have got into these jobs because they're TT fans, and all the TT fans around the course will be, you know, of course will be frustrated, which is more than understandable. People have spent their hard-earned money to come watch, but these people in this organisation are putting our safety first, as well as every fan out there. The fact that we're going to get going around about 5 minutes, the nerves are sinking. I've been for more bees. I feel like a sinking boat. I've come on this much water, but we're getting going. We're getting to go racing. So everyone, buckle up, fasten the seatbelt, and enjoy the ride.
And in terms of it now being a 2-lap race, what sort of difference does that make for you?
I think same with everyone. You know, I think we've all watched MotoGP, we've all watched BSB sprint races. It doesn't work. No. I mean that in a positive manner, because everyone's going to be more knackered after 2 laps here than 4. Because everyone's going to bite the screen, put his work a bit too hard. Everyone's going to grip on that a little bit too tight. And here's me thinking, I know what everyone else is going to do, but I'm going to be no different whatsoever. It's you've got to get out the blocks as hard as you can and just see where you end up.
Well, we hope it goes really well for you, Dom.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Going to speak to a man, great to see you back at the TT, and I think one of the biggest smiles in the paddock. And how's the body, Mikko Srini, after a tough 2 weeks here? I mean, you've had a fair bit of rest, but still hurting a bit.
Yeah, definitely, especially last week with the laps during practice week on the Friday. We done a lot of laps on the Friday. Yeah, and then on Saturday I just couldn't bloody get out of the bed. Just the energy, arms, everything was sore. So we kind of, the couple of days rest done us the world of good. To be fair, after the 3-lap Superstock race, I was totally fine, which I thought I would have been worse. It's the smaller bikes I seem to be suffering on. So, yeah, we're going to get out today and get 2 laps here now, and hopefully be all right for the Super Twin race.
R6, all right, happy with it?
Yeah, she just seems to be lacking a small bit of power now. She might be getting a little bit tired. We were going to put the engine in last night, but then the way the weather's going, blah, 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 we said, look, we'll just stick what we have, because we weren't getting a warm-up lap today either, so we leave it in it and just do what we can do.
All right, Michael, thanks for your time.
Cheers, Chris.
Well, I'm just here with one of the other Isle of Man riders, Michael Evans, and I think it's fair to say, Mikey, it's been a bit of an up and down TT for you.
Yeah, it really has. It's been I think it's been a strange TT for a lot of people, weather and all sorts. But yeah, it's been really, really odd for me. All kind of up and down and good moments, but then like I haven't done more than one lap since last Sunday, which is a bit mad. And there's not been anything too bad go wrong, but yeah.
So you've been able to iron out any of those little mechanical niggles?
Yeah, they've just been small things, to be honest with you. But obviously around here, something small. Steering damper broke. Superstock race at the top of Bray Hill, which is kind of couldn't believe, to be honest with you. But yeah, stuff like that. It's the TT. Do you know what I mean? It's the bike's take a hammering, so it's kind of one of those things you just got to take on the chin and yeah, keep moving forward.
And in terms of TT and sort of the things that it throws at you, one of them, of course, is the weather, and there's been a lot of waiting around. I mean, yesterday, obviously, a non-starter. How do you spend a day like that?
It's tricky, to be honest with you, because you kind of have, you kind of think about it the night before, and you've kind of got a bit of a setup on how you think the day is going to go, like mentally prepared for the upcoming day, and then when it kind of doesn't happen, you don't really want to spend your day doing too much, using energy doing anything stupid. So you kind of, it's tricky because you end up with the bikes ready to go and there's not really much else to do apart from, I don't know, eat some food and do a few more laps at the paddock. So yeah, it's tricky when that happens, but it's the same for everybody. So it's yeah.
And in terms of today, then, what's the game plan?
Well, it's got, the Supersport two-lap race, so you're gonna have to be on it from the word go. There's no kind of backing out of it or hesitation. Like, from here to Glen Helen is going to be very important in this race. I think the whole race is going to be important, but that first section, yeah, it's going to have to be 100% all the way for the 2 laps.
Well, we wish you all the best. Hope it goes your way today.
Thank you very much.
Going to grab a quick word with Rhys Hardesty off at number 38. Baradar, good afternoon.
Pronounced there.
How you doing?
All right, I think. Yeah, I was having a kip next to the bike area, trying to get my head down and hoping the rain would go away, but it's gone now, so hopefully we'll have a half decent run. So yeah, busy day.
Seems ages ago we were down at the pre-TT, doesn't it, down at Ballown?
I know, that was like 8 months ago, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a long time ago. Seems like it. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's been a hectic week for everyone, isn't it? With the weather changing, and and we're going, we're not going, we're going, we're not going, and it's the right call. The guys upstairs have been doing all the right stuff, and keeping us safe, and and trying to avoid people picking people out of hedges as much as possible. So. Yeah, you can't fault the boys upstairs. They've been doing a good job,
Has the Never Be Clever team been fair, and the boys enjoying it?
Yeah, fantastic. I think they've all had a good time. So I'm not looking forward to packing that big lorry up later. I've got to be honest, but it's yeah, no, the team's been great, and and Andre's been fantastic, and the bikes are good, and anything we've sort of needed hasn't been an issue. He's very approachable. So really good. Yeah, at the minute I'm quite happy with how things are going, and. Mad dash now to Germany for next weekend, so yeah, so home for a day or two and then back out. So yeah, again, Roy and Daniel will be picking up the can at home, but yeah, I mean, it's good as well that I get the opportunity to go and do it, and luckily I got an understanding boss at home. So yeah.
Right, good luck for today.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Have a good one.
Well, I'm just here with Sean Anderson. You thought this was a tropical island, didn't you?
Yeah, I was promised sun, sea, and motorbike racing, but I think we're going to get to see some finally. So, yeah, I mean, it's been an emotional roller coaster up and down all morning, waiting. Been a waiting game the last couple of days. Okay, and then yeah, we're going to go do some racing. So the sun's out. We'll stretch the cable as hard as we can, and hopefully come back home with a good result here. So I would say. I have my work cut out with me. Jim's been on terrific form, Jim Hind at 19 behind me, so I've already said to him, like, taxi's booked, so hopefully see him about. He caught me top of Bagaro, and I said, maybe I'd like to make a little bit more progress. I'll see Kirk Michael direction, maybe Balaf, and then I'll just hook in, just try and sit in behind him, and if he pulls me on, he was 5th in the first race, and he's absolutely flying. So in terms of that, if I can just grab on and he pulls me through a bit, I'll be more than happy. So we're ready for it. Just desperate to get going, and yeah, we'll hopefully have a good race.
Best of luck, Sean.
Cheers, thank you.
Every time that klaxon's sounding to say this one now just says 2 minutes to ride, you can just physically hear their brains just stop and reload. So everybody's here. 14 is here. Mike Brown. Anybody? Somebody was asking if anybody could do a pit board for Mike Brown today. Number 14 in this race. Number 10, Peter Hickman's here. Craig Neve is here as well. 2 minutes to go. Good to see Craig here after his off early doors last week at Griever Castle, wasn't it, Craig? You did see him walking around the paddock, still hobbling a bit yesterday, but when the adrenaline kicks in, he's quite a tall guy actually to be on this Batham's Supersport machine. The Triumph. Davey Todd's here before, and I did see a lovely little cuddle and a big well done on the pat in the back from Clive Paget, is from his former team, the Pagets by Malenko. Paget's team a bit early, but Davey's smiling in there, just puts the RI lid onto his head there now, and well, he's got that TT win now, so he can move on. 7 is next, Josh Brooks. 6 is Michael Dunlop here now. The RI lid is just on Michael, and the first machines will now be dragged forward. It has been a long, long wait, and good to get some nice words from Ian Hutchinson to find out how he's getting on, looking more and more confident as the weeks have gone on. 1 minute to go before the start of the Monster Energy Supersport Race number 2. Chris Boyd.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, after 2.5 hours of delays for showers, we have a 1 p.m. start on senior race day for the Monster Energy Supersport Race 2. 2 laps of the TT course, TT racing at its absolute rawest. No warm-up lap this morning to assess things. The flag drops and you have to be on it immediately. No pit stop either. 75.46 miles, which is almost as much as a full MotoGP race distance. Your 2024 Race 1 podium was Michael Dunlop, Davey Todd and Dean Harrison. The lap record still stands to Michael Dunlop from last year. That 130 mile an hour lap, 130.403. Our starter is Stephen Bagsy Biagioni of Monster. We see the first 5-6 riders into no man's land, and the first man away will be Paul Jordan, the Macrofelt rider on the Jackson Racing, powered by Prosper 2 Honda, and he is about to get the tap. Away he goes. 7th for him on Saturday, last Saturday that is, on the opening Supersport race. Jamie Cower didn't finish that race on the KTS Racing, powered by Stanley Stewart Racing Honda. A Triumph rider, he's away now, and he'll be followed by last weekend's 3rd place man, Dean Harrison, on the Honda Racing UK 600. Ian Hutchinson will go next, the Otley rider on the Malenko by Paget's Motorcycles Honda. He finished in 15th last Saturday. Following him, James Hillier on the Bournemouth Kawasaki racing machine. He had a 4th place finish a week ago. Behind them, the pre-event favourite and our winner from last week from Balamoney, Michael Dunlop on the MD Racing Yamaha. He will be followed by, as he gets away, usual line, Josh Brooks on the Boyce Precision Engineering by Russell Racing Yamaha. Flag drops for him now. And the man really hoping to take it to Michael Dunlop today, Davey Todd, after that first win on the Power Toolmate Ducati, he gets away. Totally different sound. Next up, great to have Craig Neve back after his practice week crash, the Birmingham rider on the Badham's Ale Triumph. And then next away, Peter Hickman on the Trooper Triumph by PHR Performance Triumph. An uncharacteristic ninth for Peter Hickman a week ago. We've got nobody at 11. Obviously, where Conor Cummins would have been. Nobody at 12, where David Johnson would have been. Nobody at 13, where Lee Johnston would have been. So our next man away will be Mike Brown, the Calais rider on the sister Boyce Precision Engineering by Russell Racing Yamaha, to Josh Brooks. He will go very shortly. He finished 8th in last weekend's opening race. Fastest lap of 126.622 compared with the fastest lap of the race by Michael Dunlop at 129.214. The revs rise. He'll get the tap. He's away. Following him will be Wigan rider Rob Hodson on the SMT Vehicle Recovery Services Yamaha. And we heard from him pre-race. Dominic Herbertson, the Hexham rider on the Burrows Engineering by RK Racing Yamaha, 11th place for Dominic last weekend. Yeah, at 17, no Gary Johnson, so we move on to 18, and Sean Anderson, the Banbridge driver, on the Butterfield of Skipton Suzuki. 2 13th place finishes for him last year, and 13th again last weekend, so looking to improve on that 13th spot. Behind him, a rider who always goes well in the Supersport class is James Hine, the Nettleton rider on the North Links Components Suzuki. He's away now. And then one of our home riders, Mikey Evans from Santon on the Smith Racing Triumph. He finished in a top 10 spot last week. Then Joe Yeardsley, fellow Manxmann from Port Erin on the SpinArena.net Yamaha. Skerry's rider Mikko Sweeney will follow him on the EM Building Yamaha. 20th place for Mikko a week ago. Looking to improve on that. Behind him, Joey Thompson from York on the 74 Racing by Genetec Yamaha. Gets away now. Behind him, Stefano Bonetti from Castro in Italy on the Kaiju Racing Yamaha. Top 20 places for both Joey Thompson and Stefano Bonetti last week. No Ryan Kringle, we think, next away. So the next rider away will be Rhys Hardesty, the Abergavenny rider. He finished 23rd a week ago on the Never Be Clever Racing Yamaha. We'll get him away after the gap for Ryan Kringle. Neither of the Kringle brothers riding this race. And next up will be Michael Russell, the Oxford rider. He retired from the opening race a week ago. He's obviously trying to finish every TT race, and it hasn't quite worked out for him at TT24. Yeah, Yves Diarme will be next to go from Brest in France on the Trooper Triumph by PHR Performance Triumph. He's away. The next away from the start line will be Brian McCormick, Darrell Tweed, Julian Trumpet and Alan Ventnor, but we're already going to be looking for riders making it out to Glen Helen on this opening lap. Lee Johnson has joined us on commentary as well. And do we expect Michael to be flying from the start here, Lee and Jenny?
Yeah, absolutely. We can see already that Michael's starting to catch James Hillier just slightly, and James Hillier's already catching Ian Hutchinson on the road, and David Todd's also catching Josh Brooks. So they've gone like rabbit out the traps, haven't they? And I guess it's your start position on the road is quite important, so you're going to want to catch the rider in front and get past as soon as possible.
Yeah, and we were having a bit of a chat down there on the grid, both me and Tom, and if there was anyone you were going to put your money on for not dodgy conditions, but a little bit iffy, maybe just of the knowledge of where the showers and how much showers and stuff have been, you would have to say that would be Michael Dunlop. So yeah, we're just seeing him run through a damp patch there now, and he's already lacking in absolutely no commitment whatsoever.
James Hillier looking really racy on the run through Glen Helen. He's caught and overhauled Ian Hutchinson already on the road, but it is Michael Dunlop that leads Glen Helen lap 1 of the Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 2. Dunlop leads Davey Todd by just half a second as Todd comes through. Then it's only 1/10 of a second between Todd and Hillier has caught and passed Hutchinson in that, and he's in third, only 6/10 of a second off the lead.
Yeah, we could see that Michael hasn't made up a lot of time on James, and we could see that on the TV screen there now, so that shows you how well James is going in that third position. He looked quite calm down on the grid, but he's been there or thereabouts all week, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is one of them classes that he's got to try and have a go at, because he's probably not going to do so well on the big bikes, but the smaller bikes, the Triumph's going really good, that KTS Triumph. They've made all sorts of changes, gearing a lot, and found some good settings now. But just on the screen watching Davey come through Glen Helen there, he absolutely got the drive out, got it nailed. They were wheeling up the hill. I've not seen any other lads do that. That Ducati really has got some torque.
Changed lots of settings on that Ducati, we understand, going into this race. So it's Dunlop, Todd and Hillier your front three. Then Dean Harrison is in fourth, and he's only 3/10 of a second down on Hillier. Then it's 2.9 seconds back to Peter Hickman, who is in fifth. Jamie Coward sits in sixth, 4/10 of a second down on Hickman. Mike Brown is 6/10 of a second down on Coward. Paul Jordan is 3.4 seconds down on Brown, he's in eighth. Then Josh Brooks is in ninth, 2.5 seconds down on Jordan. Craig Mead into the tape back. Craig Mead just slots down a place because Dominic Herberton comes through. Starting from 16, Dominic Herberton slots into ninth with Josh Brooks now in 10th.
So currently the top four sits inside 1 second. So this is what we've been talking about all week. the pressure now at the front of TT races and the closeness it's probably closer now than it's been for quite a number of years. You know, we're talking about the dead search for a podium. It's like the top 4 guys are within inside a second here after probably already doing 15 miles.
That's exactly that. The lads know the importance of a good first lap. So that's why we're not seeing anybody take the time into it. We're just seeing Dunlop there over Ren Cullen, and it looks like he's caught Uchi on the road, so he needs to get a good run through, because the other lads, like here comes Davey, he's got a good bit of clear road in front of him, so it's imperative that Dunlop finds a way through.
James Hind and Mikey Evans both getting into the top 10 at Glen Helen early on lap 1. Hind is in 8th and Mikey Evans in 9th, so 2 of our latest starters creeping into the top 10.
A real good showing from James Hillier there. You know, he doesn't ride that back, does he? You know, but it just goes down to course knowledge, and on the day he can still put it together. Let's see how he gets on for the rest of the race.
Yeah, that team has built that bike literally just to come here and do this race. It wasn't ready for the Northwest. So yeah, it's they built that bike literally just to come here and do the TT on at the Colchester Kawasaki. The old team of James is obviously who he rode for before, but yeah, he's got a good group of lads in there, and obviously the knowledge is coming to the front.
Peter Hickman, we know, has passed Craig Neve on the road coming through Kirkmichael at Balach. We're waiting for Hickman to arrive to get an idea of the leaderboard, but Dean Harrison has passed James Hillier at the moment. We show Michael Dunlop leading Davy Todd by still just 0.8 of a second, so it's only gone up from half a second to 0.8 on the run between Glen Helen and Balach. Dean Harrison then sits in 3rd, 1.5 seconds down on Todd. Then Hillier is only 0.3 of a second down on Harrison. Then Jamie Coward is 3.8 seconds down on Hillier. Paul Jordan showing in 6th, Josh Brooks in 7th, and Ian Hutchison 8th. But we know we have later runners to come, including Hickman, who should be amongst the next to arrive. There he is, he does arrive. He stayed in 5th place for Peter Hickman, but 3.6 seconds down on James Hillier, who is in 4th.
Yeah, this is what we spoke about down on the grid. Who was going to be fit to get out of the block straight away, and who was going to be caught napping a little bit. And right now it looks like Peter Hickman has been caught napping, so trying to pull a 3.6 second gap back on someone that's capable of doing a 130 mile an hour lap around this track is not going to be easy on the second lap.
It may be that catching and passing Craig Neve has just cost him that little bit of time. He may now. He's obviously the next man in front of him will be Davy Todd. He's unlikely to catch that 20 seconds to Davy Todd, so he's got clear road to work with probably for most of the rest of this race.
Yeah, we spoke about this yesterday. It takes almost the first lap to let that settle down. Everybody catches who they think they're about to catch or predict they're going to catch in that first lap period, and then it sort of balances itself out and the gaps start to begin. And it's easier obviously passing one rider at a time, but if you come on the back of 2 riders and then you have to try and commit to get through there's a little bit more thinking involved.
And you've just lost that bit of flow, that bit of momentum, and you know, having to look around a guy and you know, not thinking about your exit because there's another guy in front of you, it's definitely going to take its toll. Just
Dunlop
having a look at this.
fastest down Sulby. Dunlop fastest down Sulby, 171.6 miles per hour. Davy Todd, 170.9. Then Josh Brooks, 170.1.
That was impressive there, Tom. You nearly beat Chris Boyd to a stat, but we're not. We're just not quite up on that level yet.
I've still got my orange jacket on up here, so I'll take that though. Fastest newcomer, can I have that?
Top job. Let's see some of those later runners and where they've slotted in then. It's Dunlop leads Todd, leads Harrison, leads Hillier. That's your front 4. Peter Hickman slots into 5th. James Hind is up to 6th. That's fantastic by James. He is only 0.2 of a second down on Hickman. Then Jamie Coward in 7th. Mike Brown 8th. Mikey Evans in 9th. Dominic Herberton rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, we just seen Jamie Coward come through on Paul Jordan on the run into Ramsey there. And yeah, if Paul can just get his teeth into the back of Jamie here and try and latch on to him over the mountain, it'll benefit him with trying to move forward.
Just Yeardley up into 12th place. Fantastic ride so far for Joe Yeardley.
Interesting this because Dean made a point of trying to catch Jamie in the first race before he got onto the mountain, so he could hang on to him and use the power of the Triumph to pull him along. He hasn't been able to bridge that gap today, so he's out there on the mountain on his own, on not an underpowered Honda, but just not got the power of the Triumph.
Yeah, and I think that's a step from Coward in this race. Not so much that Dean's going any slower, but yeah, there's been a step from Jamie Coward in this second Supersport race.
Big look back as he went up through Stella Maris for James Hillier, and he will have seen Michael Dunlop is closing on him on the run into the hairpin.
That'd put the willies up you, wouldn't it?
This'll do James Hillier no harm at all for his run for the podium. Obviously, if Michael comes through on James here and drags him along on the second lap, because by no means he's going to have to stop pushing. The gap to Davy Todd is still really close, so Michael has to commit on this second lap, and that's going to pull James Hillier away from possibly Dean Harrison and Jamie Coward.
Exactly. Harrison's out there on his own now, really. He's got to fight his own war, but Hillier will definitely benefit from Michael coming through. Dead right.
The pace is about 1.5 seconds slower than Dean Harrison's opening lap last Saturday. So it's a high 1:27 pace we're looking at here. Michael Dunlop continues to lead the race at Ramsey Hairpin. Davy Todd by 1.5 seconds. It's gone out by another 0.7 of a second. So Dunlop increases his lead at Ramsey lap 1 to 1.5 seconds in this Monster Energy Supersport TT race 2. Dean Harrison is then 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds effectively down on Todd in third. James Hillier is 3.8 seconds down on Harrison in fourth. Peter Hickman is half a second down on Hillier in fifth. Then 1 second back to Jamie Coward in sixth. Seventh, Mike Brown. Eighth at the moment, Paul Jordan. Ninth, Josh Brooks. 10th, Ian Hutchinson. But we have James Hines, Mikey Evans and Dominic Herbertson all to come through to slot into that top 10 yet.
So these lads are on this track, which was soaking wet yesterday. Completely different surface to what they rode on before, when there was a load of rubber down and the lap times are starting to come, but we're seeing the pace is just off of it. Do you think that is because of the road surface?
Yeah, I believe it's just the lack of full knowledge of the track surface. We've had a couple of individual showers in like selected areas, so to be right on the pace, like what do we say, 1.5 seconds off the fastest of the first Supersport race, and the conditions were perfect then. So yeah, this is obviously down to the learning of throughout the week. The guys have got comfortable on the track, but yeah, that and the commitment that we're saying, if you do not push on this first lap, you're not in with a chance of winning.
Now that Hickman has cleared Craig Neath, he is the man that is coming. He slashed the deficit to James Hillier. It was 3.6 seconds at Balaf. It's down to half a second at Ramsey, so he's taken over 3 seconds out of James Hillier. Balaf through to Ramsey.
Could we now say that Peter Hickman has officially woken up on the first lap of this Supersport race? So maybe he's got a radio on the bike and he heard us saying that he was sleeping for the first half. But yeah, he's coming. But we've seen Dean Harrison now just through the bungalow, and he has caught on the back of Jamie Coward and Paul Jordan. So it's going to be hard for him to try and get through on the run across the mountain.
Herbertson, we're hearing, is out at Carrowmore. Dominic Herbertson, a retirement at Carrowmore. Such a shame. He was running strongly in the top 10.
It just goes to show how tight these races are now on these bikes, because you know the boys are looking for a little slipstream or looking for Michael Dunlop just getting held up there over the bungalow.
Wrong place coming into the bungalow, hasn't he?
But he'll have a long run there and he can get stuck in the slipstream and hopefully pulled along.
Yeah, James had a quick look round on the run out of the bungalow there, and obviously got a face full of Michael Dunlop. Whether that's something you would want to see or not, but yeah, he'll know to sit in now and benefit. James is a very clever rider, and he'll get latched onto the back of Michael now, and I believe he's done it on years past where he's hung on to him for the rest of the race. So yeah, it's going to be beneficial, as we're seeing Dean Harrison now just pulling out past Paul Jordan, but Paul won't know he's there. Yeah, he's through cleanly. So yeah, for these two guys now, both Paul and Jamie, it'll be a good chance for them to try and get in on the back of Dean Harrison.
Nothing wrong with the speed of Paul Jordan's Jackson under there. He was holding Dean off there, keeping him honest. Dean had to go through on the brakes, which we've seen him so strong on these little bikes.
Absolutely. So let's bring you the times at the bungalow. Dunlop extends his lead despite catching James Hillier on the road. It now goes out to 2.7 seconds. Dunlop leads Davy Todd by a bungalow lap 1. Then Dean Harrison is only 1/10 of a second down on Davy Todd. Harrison's picked up the pace as well, but he's had traffic issues just after the bungalow that we may see impact this position at Crompton Moda. Peter Hickman then continues to lie in fourth. He's now slipped out to 5.9 seconds down on Harrison. So Harrison is the man who's really upped his pace on that climb of the mountain. James Hillier is 1 second down on Hickman in fifth. Jamie Coward is in sixth. 0.8 of a second down on Hillier. Then Paul Jordan, Josh Brooks, Craig Neath and Ian Hutchinson, as Dunlop still hasn't got past Hillier. He's right with him. He's trying to take him on the run into Craig. No, he's had to back out of that there, Lee.
Yeah, we don't know if there was an issue for Michael there or what, but James Hillier he's pulled over again to let Michael pass. But whether that ZX6 of James Hillier has just got the legs on it or not, but we were expecting to see Michael come into shot first, and it was that beautiful green Kawasaki of James Hillier's. Yeah, Davy Todd's cleanly through on Ian Hutchinson now as well.
Yeah, we think Dunlop has got that pass done on Hillier on the run down through Govnagay down towards Brandish out of Cretnabar.
So that's Dunlop now with clear track. He can really get the hammer down and come on to this last lap.
Yeah, we're just
fully
seeing
committed.
Dean Harrison still hasn't got past Jimmy Coward as well in the run into Governors there, so it'll be interesting if we can get them two across the finish line and who will be in front on the run into the last lap, and that'll leave Dean then obviously leading on the road as well as being in the podium position.
It still is that 1:27.5 type pace now for Michael Dunlop, so maybe that wind over the mountain allied to the traffic issues just a little bit worse than we thought. We're waiting on Davy Todd to arrive at Crocknamona. We've got Dunlop, Harrison, Coward through. They'll be coming along Glenfletchy Road very, very shortly. The leaders on. Here we go. Harrison's overtaken. Harrison leaves Coward on the road. And Harrison is into second place in the race. So Dunlop leads Harrison by 1 second only at Crocknamona lap 1. Then it's 7/10 of a second back to Harrison. It's 1.7 seconds separating the top three. Dunlop, Harrison, Todd at Crocknamona.
Yeah, we don't know if Davy Todd possibly got held up a little bit trying to pass Ian Hutchison on the run down off the mountain.
There's Dunlop away out onto his second and final lap. So to Hillier.
Well clear of Hillier now. So that I don't think Hillier will get a slipstream off that. He'll just be able to hold him in place and shouldn't really affect Michael on this last lap, which is going to be crucial for him. He's got to hit every marker because the guys are hot on his case.
It is only 9/10 of a second, though, the lead at the end of lap 1 of 2. Dunlop on the Yamaha leads Harrison on the Honda by 9/10 of a second. It's then 1.3 seconds back from Harrison to Todd on the Ducati, then 8.9 seconds back to Jamie Cow, but we await the arrival of Peter Hickman, who's holding on to 4th place at Crocknamona. Your lap 1 speeds for those through so far: Jamie Coward 126.0, Dean Harrison 127.2, Paul Jordan 124.7, then Davy Todd 127.1, Ian Hutchinson 121.9, Peter Hickman is through here now 126.4, and he holds on to 4th place, 5.6 seconds down on Todd. So it's Dunlop, Harrison, Todd, Hickman are your top 4 heading out onto the second and final lap. Then it's 3.3 seconds back to Jamie Coward, then half a second from Coward only back to Hillier, then 11 seconds back from Hillier to Paul Jordan, but we await for Mike Brown to come through, who is holding on to 7th place at Crocknamona.
Super impressive from Harrison. I mean, every time he's been out on any of his new bikes, because it is a new venture for him this year with Honda Racing UK. Each bike is brand new. So each time he's thrown his leg over it, he's found personal best, or he's found a bit more of a lap time, and he's so strong in this race. It's brilliant to see.
Yeah, and he's never been one for lacking in commitment. So we spoke about Michael Dunlop at the start of this race and being brave and pushing on straight away, but Dean Harrison's renowned for leading the start of races, and to be in there, like we said, he never got to do the Northwest 200 on this bike. I think he got a little bit of a go on the last round of the BSB to do some testing, so he's done very little mileage, albeit the team runs Jack Kennedy very successfully in British Supersport. But yeah, for Dean himself personally, it's he's obviously rode a Kawasaki for a very long time, so it's a big change.
Harrison is the coming man in terms of that opening lap. Dunlop was fastest to Glen Helen, fastest to Balath, fastest to Ramsey, then it's Harrison, fastest on the climb of the mountain, fastest again on the run down to Crocknamona, fastest again through to here at the grandstand. He is coming.
Yeah, this is what we want. So the top 3 now is currently inside 1.3 seconds after doing 37 3/4 miles. As we're just watching Jamie Coward now. He has latched on to the back of Dean Harrison, like we said earlier on in the race, and that is going to do him no harm whatsoever and getting his chance of getting possibly back up inside the top 4.
You know, when you get on the long drags there and you've got a bike behind you and he's close in, can you feel that rear bike pulling you back? You know, is that going to affect Harrison?
No, it won't. It definitely won't bother Dean Harrison. He would literally want to be sitting on the back of the motorbike to upset him. But yeah, you can feel a little bit of the pull of the slipstream, probably more so at the places like the Northwest 200 where you're sitting in and just going straight, whereas the guys are moving here around all the time. You know, as Michael Dunlop runs right out to the air fence there. Yeah, you can feel a little bit of a pull on the back of your leathers sometimes, but it only really happens when you're right up and sort of 160, 170 mile an hour.
We have a duel on the Isle of Man on senior race day between Dunlop and Harrison, and we're not leaving Davy Todd out of this at all. Grandstand lap 1. At the end of lap 1, it was 9/10 of a second. Dunlop leads Harrison, then Davy Todd 1.3 seconds. We go a bit further down now. Hickman slots into 4, 5.6 seconds down on Todd. Coward is 3.3 seconds down on Hickman in 5th. Hillier is half a second down on Coward in 6th. Mike Brown does slot into 7th place. Then James Hine in 8th. 9th for Paul Jordan. 10th for Mikey Evans. 11th for Sean Anderson.
Yeah, Josh Brooks has also jumped on the back of Peter Hickman here. Obviously, they're teammates in the bigger bike classes with the FHO team. But I was speaking to his crew chief down. He's had a little bit of bad luck this week, Josh, with just a few different things going wrong and a few little incidents in practice and stuff of running off track and stuff. So yeah, I think this would be a really good result for him to get in the top 8, possibly push into the top 6, and yeah, get his confidence back.
Kevin Keys is a retirement in Parliament Square in Ramsey. Kevin Keys, retirement Parliament Square in Ramsey. Tell you how much they were checking the conditions on the first lap. Michael Dunlop's split to Glen Helen on the first lap was a 4:32.0. This time it's a 4:22.7. It's 9.3 seconds quicker.
Just a smidge then. He's not decided to drop the hammer on the second lap. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see now. I think that was the guy's chance to maybe try and get their head down and get in front of Michael. So we've seen him do this in the first Supersport race. Once he got onto the second lap, he started to drop the hammer and started to stretch the guys.
Yeah, he's super confident, isn't he, at the moment? He's coming off the back of 2 wins already, and he loves this bike. And the other day, by the end of the second lap, I think it was 4.5 seconds in the clear, and he's 1.7, almost 1.8 from Dean now at Glen Helen. So can we just see him just winding up and stretching out that lead?
Gapped at Glen Helen on lap 2, the final lap of this Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 2. Dunlop has stretched the lead very slightly, 1.7 seconds. He now leads Harrison by. It's then 1.8 seconds between Harrison and Todd. So it's still only 3.5 seconds between these front 3.
Oh, can't you? And the commitment that, you know, that you cannot lose a 10th. You cannot make a mistake. You can't go in the wrong gear. You can't run wide. You've just got to be so pinpoint accurate. Otherwise, you're getting past and then that's your lead gone. You know what it's like on a 600. If you lose a run or if you just make a mistake, you cost it so much down the straight.
Yeah, we're just watching Jamie Coward and Dean Harrison on the run into Kurt Michael now, and looking at the timing screen, Dean Harrison could possibly tow Jamie Coward past Peter Hickman at this rate. He's only 0.4 off Hickman at this point, so if Jamie can sit on the back of Dean for the remainder of this lap, there's a very good chance he could pull Jamie Coward up in the top 4 position.
And he is sticking right with Dean, isn't he? He is right there with him over Greg Cullen.
Yeah, we've seen this also in the Super Twin race when Michael come past. Jamie was fit to just sit in there and do the lap time. So possibly just needs to work on a little bit of getting out of the gate a little bit stronger and trying to get away from these guys so they don't get an advantage of using him as a target.
Yeah, that was sort of the rhetoric from his pit crew and the guys in the KTS team. You know, you've got the speed, we can see it once you get with another rider, but you need to find it yourself in these opening laps.
While we wait for them to arrive at Balaf, let's just run a little bit further down the leaderboard. 8th at the moment, Paul Jordan on the Honda. 9th, Josh Brooks on the Yamaha. 10th, Rob Hodson on the Yamaha. 11th for Craig Neve on the Triumph. Ian Hutchinson is in 12th. James Hine 13th. Mike Brown shows in, well, system's gone a bit wonky. James Hines shows in 40th, more riders arriving. 15th for Mikey Evans, 16th Joe Yearsley, 17th Stefano Bonetti, rounding out the top 20, Joey Thompson, Alan Bettner and Marcus Simpson. As we await the arrival of, we've got Harrison, Coward and Jordan through Balaf, so it's race leader Dunlop that we're waiting on, and then obviously Davy Todd. Dunlop arrives there now, so we wait on Todd to arrive. It's gone out again, the lead over Harrison. It's gone up from 1.7 at Glen Helen to 3.2 it is at Balaf. So he's pulled a second and a half there on the run up to Balaf, but we just wait for Davy Todd to come in. He was only 1.8 seconds down on Harrison at Glen Helen. He should be amongst the next riders into Balaf. He is there now, and he's closed to 1.4, 1.5 seconds down on Harrison. So Dunlop leads up a lap, pretty much halfway down lap 2. 3.2 seconds between Dunlop and Harrison. Harrison then 1.4 seconds down on Todd as we await the arrival of fourth place man Peter Hickman, Coward, Hillier and Jordan, the other riders through Ballaugh.
Yeah, we're just seeing Craig Neave come into shot here, and definitely a very brave ride from him. Quite a big crash, obviously, at the start of the week, and I think a lot of people had thought that was his TT over, and I know he's got quite a large cut and stuff on his knee and maybe possible other body parts, so yeah, he cannot be too comfortable out there, so credit to him for keeping going on that team.
I just spotted his helmet as well. It looks like a Tony Rutter replica. We'll have to zoom in on that, but maybe they just a bit of a homage to the Rutter family there. They've had a corner named after them at Glen Ellen, and then there's the Rutter laps today and all the bikes that Michael's ridden over the years, and so same with Tony. So a little homage there. That's cool to see.
In terms of lap time, Dunlop is over 10 seconds now quicker than the opening lap as far as Ballaugh. He was there in 7 minutes 44.2. He's there in 7:34.1 this time, which is up around a 1:28.6 pace.
Just looking at the shots, the slow-mo stuff of Dunlop there, he's biting the screen, and there's nothing sticking out past the bodywork. He's absolutely dialed into that yam. He's bringing that determined little like short circuit, angry, tucked in style today.
Yeah, that's another one of the benefits of the mountain knowledge that Michael has around here. There's some of us other riders might just stick our head out a little bit to get a look and get a little bit more information on the surface or the conditions or whatever like that there, but Michael can do all that just sitting in behind the screen. And if there's anyone that knows about sitting in behind a screen and not looking out, it's probably you, Tom. You look out about 3 times on the lap round.
That's a 10 out of 10 for me for Michael.
Todd's got that Ducati wound up. He's quickest down Solvay this time, 172.1 miles per hour.
So that'll be without slipstream, won't it? He'll be sat on his own, I would have thought, doing that. Maybe just moved his body position or just had a real good run through Quarry Bends, probably.
Let's have a look at where we are with Hickman and Brown now arriving at Ballaugh. Hickman continues to hold fourth, but he's now 8.2 seconds off Todd. So those front three are definitely pulling away, involved in their own little duel out there on the TT course. Then Jamie Coward is next, then James Hillier. Mike Brown stays seventh. Then Paul Jordan in 8th, Josh Brooks in 9th. Sean Anderson is up into the top 10. Rob Hodgson just outside the top 10 in 11th.
Yeah, Jimmy Coward is still on that rear wheel of the Honda of Dean Harrison. We just see the run through Ramsey now, so really impressive from Jimmy. And like we said before, if he can just get out of the gate a little bit sharper, he definitely has the pace to run with these front guys.
You would sort of expect him to hang on to Harrison on the long climbs, or the real horsepower sections up over the mountain, but he's done it through all the nitty-gritty stuff, hasn't he, in between the trees. And fair play to Jamie. They've obviously worked hard with that bike, and he's learning a lot and processing it.
Disappointment for James Hind, who is running in the top 10. He has stopped out at Ballacrane on this second lap. We have Dunlop and Harrison through. We have Davey Todd through as well. So we've got our front three through. Ramsey hairpin lap 2. It's out again to 4.6. So Dunlop's added another 1.4 seconds on the run from Ballaugh through to Ramsey. Dunlop leads by 1.4 seconds from Dean Harrison. Then it's only 1.3 seconds, so it stayed almost the same between Harrison and Todd. Then James Coward is through, so to James Hillier and Paul Jordan. But we've got Peter Hickman to slot in there into 4th. He is on the run up from Ballaugh Bridge.
Let's see what Hickman's time is here, because I think he was... Oh yeah, he stretched it to Coward by a second now. He was 0.5, but he's just got a bit more on Coward now, even with the tow that he's getting from Harrison.
Yeah, it's out to a whole second now, Tom.
Yeah, you can have a relaxing run over the mountain now, I reckon. No real push there, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the difference is now on the run over the mountain between Todd and Harrison. Obviously, we've talked all week about the torque of that Ducati and with the bigger capacity engine and stuff like that there. So if Dean Harrison can hold this 1.4 seconds or 1.39 seconds to Davy Todd on the run up over the mountain to the bungalow, that will be really impressive.
Dunlop has pulled 3.8 seconds out of Harrison between the grandstand here and Ramsey on this second lap. That's what's done the damage and stretched that lead out to 4.6, but then it's only that 1.3 seconds back to Todd. Hickman is still in 4th, but 8.4 seconds down on Todd, and as Tom said, 1 second ahead of Jamie Coward in 5th. James Hillier continues to hold on to 6th. He's 4 seconds down on Coward.
Yeah, we're just looking at Mike Brown coming into shot on the the sister bike of Josh Brooks here. He looks, he's quite wide there. Sorry for saying that on the radio when you guys can't see it, but yeah, he's no lacking in commitment there from Mike Brown. He obviously prefers the smaller bikes. He's a man of my sort of stature, so it benefits him a little bit.
Very tall. Yeah, he doesn't need, I know he's Josh Brooks' teammate, but he didn't need to ride that curve like Josh Brooks did to Kurt Michael the other day, did he?
No, he was right out on Mayhill there. The pavement was looming, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry once again that I don't know the names of anywhere, but JP's and me are trying to help me out with the course knowledge. So if you hear me just saying the left or the right hand corner, there is a few of them around the circuit, but we will get there.
So we see Harrison and Coward into the bungalow. This is where Harrison excelled on the first lap. Dunlop was quickest through the first part to Ramsey, then Harrison was quickest over the mountain. So this is potentially where Harrison might be able to fight back.
Yeah, that's impressive with Dean, because obviously we've sort of said all week is the lacking of speed in that new Honda. And obviously, it's clear to see in British Supersport with what Jack Kennedy's doing. But we're just seeing Michael Dunlop's come on the back of Paul Jordan now on the run up to the bungalow and just through the bungalow. So it'll be interesting to see if Paul has a look round to see if he's there or he doesn't get held up any.
Michael's got a bit of a drive out on him, but like we said before, that Jackson Honda is flying. Hang on, he's caught the slipstream now and he's just through. That's lucky and committed from Dunlop. You know, goodness.
On the run up Hailwood Rise into the Branduel Junction, Dunlop away and through on Paul Jordan. He should know how clear run back to us here at the finish line and the checkered flag, as Davey Todd has a clear road in front of him as well. So that's our front three through the bungalow. Lap 2 of the Supersport TT Race 2. It's out to 4.8 seconds, so just a couple of tenths of a second added by Dunlop to his lead. 4.8 seconds over Harrison at the bungalow on the second and final lap. It's then 2 seconds now between Harrison and Todd, so that's gone out by another 0.6 of a second as well. So the gap's just stretching very, very marginally. There's still only, 6 seconds between those front three as we next see Peter Hickman come through, and we just wait for his time to slot in onto that leaderboard. He's dropped. Coward has overhauled Hickman. So Coward is up to 4, 8.4 seconds down on Todd. Hickman is now 1 1/4 seconds down on Coward. He drops to 5th. Then James Hillier holds 6th. We wait on Mike Bryan to arrive, who holds 7th at Ramsey Hairpin. Paul Jordan holds on to 7th, getting that fantastic toe. And then Mikey Evans was holding 9th at Ramsey Hairpin, so we must wait for him to come through as well.
Yeah, just looking at Jamie Coward's pit board there with my father-in-law. He's a bit late on the knowledge. He's shown him P5 when it should be P4, so Jimmy will have to have a word with him after that one, but he'll be happy now, obviously, because that's his last bit of information before getting down to the start and finish line. So he'll be up a position when he gets there.
It just shows the pace of Harrison there over the mountain there, pulling Coward along to overhaul Peter Hickman on his favoured mountain section. So Dean is really motoring and Jamie's gone with him.
Absolutely. Michael Dunlop then we pick up on the run down to Brandish. He'll then have the run down into Hilbury, and we'll get his time at Crocknamona as Davey Todd arrives at Cregner Bar and just backs it in a little bit there.
Yeah, plenty of air under the rear wheel there, so he's no lacking in effort. And the crowd is going absolutely crazy on the run out of the Craig there for Davey Todd.
So we await the arrival at Crocknamona. We have Dean Harrison and Jamie Coward through. We now have our race leader Michael Dunlop through as well. So Dunlop's lead over Harrison has just dropped by half a second. It's down to 4.3. Then we await Davey Todd to arrive as we see Peter Hickman into Cregner. Looks much more stylish, much more composed for Peter Hickman.
Yeah, he almost looks steady into there. I don't know. Me and Tom just looked round at each other to say, oh, we don't know what the issue is there, or maybe there is an issue, but...
First man across the road to finish the race then, Dean Harrison and Jamie Coward, they cross. We wait next for Michael Dunlop. For Harrison, it's a 1:28.706. For Coward, a 1:28.668. But it's Michael Dunlop we're waiting for. He's into Governor's Dip. He's got Paul Jordan behind him. They're through Governor's Dip. They're coming on to Glen Crutchley Road now. It's going to be number 28 for Michael Dunlop. What a week this is turning out for the Ballymoney man. Here he comes. Victory for Michael Dunlop. Again, Supersport TT Race 2 at TT 2024. He's done the hat-trick. Dunlop then wins by 3.8 seconds as James Hillier completes his race. We're waiting on Davey Todd to come through to complete the podium. We'll just get Todd through and then we'll be straight down to the winners' enclosure as these guys are coming up. Todd should be with us fairly shortly. Here he comes.
And is third place for Davy Todd, 2.3 seconds down on Dean Harrison. So Michael Dunlop on the Yamaha does the Supersport double at TT 2024, down to Chris Kinley.
Dean Harrison, the first man in. Oh, he thought about it. He's doing a burnout. He is first one of the week. There we go. He looked over to the Honda boys to get if I want to do it. But here he is, 28 times a winner around the TT. And Michael Dunlop does a burnout. Oh, yeah. The official gap at the end was 3.89 seconds back to Dean Harrison and 2.3 back to Davy Todd. Great performance by Jamie Coward, snatching that fourth place. Peter Hickman across the line in fifth. James Hillier sixth at the moment. Wait for Mike Brown, who's gone through Contamone. He's provisionally in seventh there, but it's win number 28. And here's Davy Todd. Gets himself into that third position. He's not doing any burnouts in there. And we'll get round the back and speak straight away to Michael Dunlop. Happy, 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 I'm pretty sure. And he said to me at the end of the first Supersport race that this will be the last year that this bike will be in here. It will be going in his front room, and I'm going to ask him where exactly is he going to put it. Takes one glove off, takes the other glove off. It's the right-hand glove first, then the left. He put them onto the back seat there now, gets the D-ring undone on that RI helmet, takes the lid off there. And Michael, many, many congratulations. Where's she going in the front room then?
She's going in the living room again, so
for good.
I've got no sofa, so I'll just have to sit in bikes. Yeah, fair play to the boys. Thanks very much. We had an issue after the first race. Bike was mint. Took the engine out, checked it, and I was like, oh shit. So we fitted another engine here. Engine's mint. We worked hard during the week. Thanks everybody. I was going the first lap. I knew it was going to be hard in the first lap because I thought I'd struggle. I lost the front actually up the mountain, and it was whoa. Okay, it must be. I think the wind sort of went for me. I says, oh. And to be honest with you, I think I've lost air pressure in the front fork leg because it's just pattern everywhere. So I was like, that's got to be hard work. So we bounced on, but thanks to everybody. Thanks to Ian. I know he's at home. He's always at the end of the phone with me, and when you're here building engines, it's you need somebody to call with, and he's the boy.
Tell us about the rest of the race. It was close. I mean, Dino was on the push. Davey was on the push. We're waiting for hit. We come, but you three just pulled away. It was only a couple of seconds at the end. Did you know where you were? Do you know what the gap was? Yeah, you're managing it, were you?
I knew where I was, if I'm honest with you, and I knew we had a front end issue. Wherever it was, I knew there was something not right, and I think I seen a few seconds of right. I might just calm down. Let's not try to. Let's just take it easy. You know what I mean? So yeah, great. Thanks to all the boys, the whole team. Private team, beating factory teams.
Absolutely, and what a crowd out there to see you do it.
Yeah, it's good. Got one under our belt today, another one on the charts. Job's Oxo.
Well done.
Thank you, boss.
Win number 28, well done to him. Well done to Michael. He'll go off and do his T-Bits and Bits and Bobs. Gets a big cheer from the crowd. I think Dean's overdoing telly at the moment, so we'll jump around the back and maybe grab a word of Davy Todd. I don't know where he's gone. Where's Dean? Where is he, Vic? Where's he gone? Is he doing TV? He's doing TV. Okay, Davy Todd's getting pulled towards TV as well. You just see it. Michael's bike being fired up again, just to get the fans going, just to cool it off a little bit. And we'll just let Dean Harrison just finish with the TV. Davy Todd about to jump in there. And Dino, let's grab a quick word. Blimmin' out, your starts are absolutely awesome.
Yeah, no, like my first pit board, to be fair, with P4, and I thought, bloody, I'm riding hard here for P4. And then I got a P2, a P3, and it sort of changed. It was real close. But on lap one, I tried to figure out where the damp patches were, so I was really unsure. So I tried to take a mental log of those.
Where are they?
I can't tell you that. no,
Glen Helen?
No, like the Braddon Bridge, to be honest, I was really steady there the first lap, because I really didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, the exit of Glen Helen, that's quite bad, but it's manageable. And then it wasn't too bad. There's a little patch here and there, so the conditions were a lot better than I thought, to be honest, which is bodes really well for later on today. So no, fair play to the organisers for putting the delays in. Because everyone, obviously, we don't want the delays, but I think it's best to say I think they've done a good job.
You think it's going to dry out a little bit more, obviously, with the Super Twin race, which you're not taking part in, than the senior?
Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. As the day goes on now, I just think the conditions improve and get better all day, so no, fantastic.
Honda 600 proved you well this week then, happy?
Yeah, the room had a third and a second on it now, so I really enjoy riding the little 600. I just rode as hard as I could then from the start. My first board, like I say, was P4, and I pushed it on because it was real close, and then I got a 2, and it was all within seconds. It's so tight out there, so no, to have a couple of thirds and a second so far this week, it's going well.
I love the fact you looked over to the Honda boys and as if to say, "Can I do a donut? Can I do a burnout, please?"
Yeah, that's. I didn't want to get shouted at, but no.
Well done, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant stuff. Let's speak to the third place ride if we can. Davey's just finished there with the TV lot. Davey, TT is getting better and better, and for the first time here, and the first time a Ducati's been on the podium here for, goodness me, years.
Yeah, since 2003, I think it is, with John McGuinness.
Will be John Monster Mob Ducati as well, riding for Birdie.
Yeah, it's
first year.
It's really special, mate. Honestly, to come here with a complete brand new bike, the Power Toolmate Ducati boys have had the faith in me to bring that here, and they've done some awesome work with the bike to adapt it to the TT course, which is, as we know, completely different to any course in the world. So, done a fantastic job adapting this bike to being a road race bike, and 2 podiums our first time out. I'm happy with. Not too far off them front boys. In the race, I was just a little bit nervous about the damp patches. That's all.
You were watching behind because Peter Hickman was coming, Jamie Coward was there, James Hillier was there.
Yeah, I knew a lot of guys would be in the mix, especially with it being a 2-lap race. I knew a lot of guys would throw everything at it. I just wanted to work my way around the first lap, have a see what the conditions were like and stuff like that, and to bring it home in P3 with that lap time that we're doing 28s in those conditions. They're not good conditions out there, so yeah, I'm happy with that.
We're going to see the Power Toolmate Ducati back here again next year, hopefully.
I really hope so, mate. I'm loving riding it. As I say, the Power Toolmate Ducati guys are giving me a fantastic opportunity, and fingers crossed for next year.
Thank you, Davey.
Cheers, mate.
Davey Todd, thank you very much. So there's your first 3, Monster Energy Supersport Race number 2. Let's get up to Boydie for the rest of the finishing positions.
Yeah, it's breathless when it's a 2-lap race. Michael Dunlop then on the Yamaha, won by 3.889 seconds from Dean Harrison on the Honda. 2.3 seconds back to Davey Todd on the Ducati. Jamie Coward did hold on and hold off Peter Hickman for 4th place. He was 8.3 seconds down on Todd, 2.2 seconds up on Peter Hickman, who finishes 5th on the Triumph Street Triple. And then James Hillier on the Kawasaki in 6th, 5.9 seconds down on Hickman. So that was 5 manufacturers in the top 6. Then Mike Brown is 7th, 9.7 seconds down on Hillier. And then Paul Jordan in 8th. But let's get down to Beth Espy.
Yeah, I'm here with Josh Brooks. And Josh, we were listening to the commentary. I mean, obviously, we know we haven't had the best of weeks. So great to see you racing out like that today.
Yeah, it's good to finally get on the track and get some racing. It's been quite a few days since the last time I rode the Supersport bike, so it's not my normal bike, and not having days on it makes it difficult to push. You know, I'm not a podium contender in this category anyway, but certainly not achieving what I think is probably I'm capable of with these you know, setbacks and delays. But even I mean, it sounds like I'm making excuses. I am. I'm not happy with you know, with the final result. I'd like to have expected to do better, but you know, I did genuinely give it all that I felt I could, and that was the best I could do. So we just got to look at areas. I can see, like, clearly when I'm out against some of the others, you know, when Davey come past, when Pete came past, I can see what they're doing, and it's not something that's out of reach. It's just outside of my ability for this moment in time.
You didn't have the sighting lap today, of course. What sort of difference did that make for you?
I'm not really sure. I'm sure, like, certainly a sighting lap would make me more confident with the conditions of the circuit, but even though the conditions of the track were in good order, I still wasn't able to do what I felt like I needed to do to meet my target.
Been a long couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a long 2 weeks, but it's not over yet. Still got a bit more to go.
Thanks very much, Josh.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. So we were down to 8th place. In 9th was Mikey Evans on the Triumph. Then rounding out the top 10, as we just heard from, Josh Brooks. In 11th, Sean Anderson. In 12th, Joe Yeardley. In 13th, Rob Hodgson. 14th place finish for Ian Hutchinson on the Honda. Then Craig Neve in 15th. Great to get a finish for Craig after his incident in practice week. Then in 16th place, Stefano Bonetti. Rounding out the top 20, Joey Thompson, Alan Ventnor, Baz Ferber and Brian McCormack. We can go down a little bit further. We're getting more and more finishes across the line all the time. We'll try and do 21 to 30, and then after that, obviously, we're still waiting on more finishes to come through. 21st, Eddie Fair. 22nd, Julian Trummer. In 23rd, Pierre-Yves Dion. In 24th, Stephen Parsons. In 25th, Tom Whedon. In 26th, Jonathan Perry. 27th, Michael de Koppel. Then rounding out the top 30, Rhys Hardesty, Jonathan Getchke and Michael Russell. We'll wait to get the rest of the finishes in and bring you the remainder as we go down. In fact, Beth has Michael de Koppel with her.
I certainly do. You look like you're happy there. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel really good. It's a shame that the race was only for 2 laps because I was in a good pace this time and really happy, enjoying. The conditions are great on the track, so finally we get some happy racing done.
It's really tricky, isn't it, when you've had all those delays on the start line, but good crowds out there as well?
Yeah, it was quite, tense, when you have to wait and you are concentrating and focused to go, and then it's all delayed, and you are just hoping to go out and, all set to go.
Well done, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much there, Beth. We're just looking at the stats, and obviously it's a hat-trick at TT 2024 for Michael Dunlop. We think it's also 6 Supersport TT race wins in a row.
Yeah, unbelievable. And like we said before the race, if there was anyone going to come out of the blocks, it was probably going to be Dean Harrison and Michael Dunlop. And for once this week, I think that's my 8th prediction, and I've got my first one right. So I'm holding on to that one. If anyone would like to comment in and say well done.
Well, you get a mark on the board then, Lee. Well done, pal.
Let's get back down to Beth.
Yeah, well, I'm here with Joe Yeardsley. And Joe, in the first race last weekend, which seems like an eternity ago, I think it was a 15th place finish, 12th just now. How's that?
Absolutely over the moon. I didn't quite believe it when I seen the pit board on the first lap. I was like, it can't be right. It was supposed to be, But no, I'm absolutely over the moon. But I really struggled there on that second lap with chipping a bone in my hand and doing tendon damage only 6 weeks ago. I was pushing on the first lap and I had a speed wobble and hurt my hand. So on my last lap, every time I went to shut the throttle off, my hand wasn't reacting with what I was wanting to do. It was just really weak, and I was struggling to pull the front brake in. So I just have to make a decision whether I'm able to go out this afternoon, because if I can't shut the throttle off, it's really dangerous. So it's a shame to kind of end it on that note, but I've had some real good results this week, and everything's been so good. So safety comes first, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, difficult, as you say, to make that decision, but you have to trust your own ability, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you can't shut the throttle off properly with a hand being weak when it pumps up, it's not safe. So I'm going to have to deep think about it this afternoon. But for a first TT to get the results that we have, and I just want to say a big thanks to all my sponsors and the team and everyone that's got me here over the last 3 years. It's really appreciate it, and thanks very much.
Well, we're thrilled for you, Joe. Well done.
Thank you.
Fantastic by Joe Yeardsley. He did a 122.577 a week ago. His fastest lap today is a 123.2, so considerably quicker for Joe Yeardsley. Congratulations to him, and we'll just have to keep an eye on whether or not he goes out later on. Moving on down at the results then, as we've had more finishes coming through. Michael Russell now shows as 30th, then Samuel West in 31st, Timothy Minot in 32nd. No pit lane worries today, considering we know he's had penalties across the week. Paul Cassidy in 33rd. Newcomer from Croatia, Loris Manxmann, is in 34th. Good finish for him. Mark Parrott in 35th. Then Mike Norbury in 36th. Gareth Arnold in 37th. Fellow Manxman David Rigby in 38th. Then James Chalk in 39th. Jack Fowler 40th. Just outside the top 40, Mark Colvin, George Halliday, Jack Petrie, David Brook. Mark Goodings just completes in 45th, and Craig Shapek in 46th. And we think that may be all of the finishers in Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 2.